Before we go into his portrayal of it, let me just give
give us the broad
just talk about autism spectrum disorder. So it's an autism spectrum disorder.
Can you just call it autism, or do you have to call it autism spectrum disorder?
I have to call it autism spectrum disorder because that's just how I want to be respectful of it. Can I just call? Can you just call it autism? Sure. Is it bothering you? Are you having a problem with it?
It's just long.
ASD.
When I knew what you meant after autism.
Language is so very important. Yeah. When you are using a few words to break down or to capture what is a massive part of a person's life, I feel that you have to do it incredibly respectfully. And so to use shorthand terms or, abbreviations or things that somebody could find derogatory, I find that I need to be very, very careful about it.
I just think that the rules are different depending on who you are. Because I think that someone in your position, absolutely, you're the expert and you have the words and you know what these words exactly mean. And so it's really powerful for you to use the right words. In general, though, as someone who is just an agent of the world, one of the things that I really have an issue with is when people get caught up on you have to use the right words, you have to say the right thing. I just think if we do our best to understand each other, I don't think that we should focus as much on the words as I think we do.
I think you're absolutely right. If we're trying our best, then people who fumble in terms of language should be cut a lot of slack. And I think that people do. If you approach this in a humble, always learning stance, I think you're going to give a lot of you're going to get a lot of grace. But I don't think you can demand that grace up front. And that's I think where people make an error in this argument. You can get grace for making a mistake in your language if you are earnestly, honestly, and humbly trying to engage with another person who identifies or uses language that you're not used to. And I think that you will get a lot of grace if you approach that with a lot of humility.
Yeah.
Then the second thing I'll point out, Jeff, is that we come from a very, very privileged stance on this. I mean, I am a straight white male American physician. There's not a word you can call me that is going to cut to the bone.
Bald.
Like others. I mean, even that. I mean, that's,
I know, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
it just goes.
What are people going to call me, a nerd? Oh, ouch. I mean, it's just not. So I don't have that perspective. All I'm doing is responding to what I've been told by people who don't look or have the same characteristics of me. Is language that really cuts and hurts.
Like, do you recommend the average person to use autism spectrum disorder, or is the average person okay saying autistic?
I recommend that you call somebody by their name.
Well, fucking duh.